Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and from unboxings.com. Here I have the Eken M001. As it's described here, it's an MID or mobile internet device and ebook. Basically, I would call it a mobile tablet or a tablet style computer or tablet style device. This is running Android 1.6, and we'll have a quick look inside the box and see what we have to see. So obviously it's stuck inside this plastic sleeve. There we go, managed to get that off. So that's the device itself. Wants to really be used kind of that way round in landscape rather than portrait, and to me looks like an oversized mobile, really, almost like an oversized Android mobile device or mobile phone. We'll look at that in a second. What else is in the box? Well, not a lot. I have the user manual, which is, well, pretty basic. It's got some screenshots and a few other bits and pieces, and talks about personalised settings and that sort of stuff. And, well, probably has been translated as appears to be from Chinese or Taiwanese or something like that. So it'd be interesting to see what the translation is like. You have then a USB to proprietary style connector on the other end. That kind of looks like a 30-pin dot connector from the iPhone or an iPod. I'm sure it will be different. In actual fact, let's just test that. Oh, it does fit, in fact. That's interesting. So it does fit in there. Whether or not it'll work is kind of another matter. And finally, an empty bag, and then the charger, which is an American style charger, two flat pins rather than obviously 3 UK, and then a bullet style connector to actually charge the device up. Whether or not it charges over USB as well, I'm not entirely sure. So the device itself, as I say, running Android 1.6. Just peel that off. Many of these coming out, around now. They've been around for a while, but I guess we're kind of finding out a bit more about some of the ones that are, coming out of the woodwork, as it were, since the iPad came out. iPad being at least £400 here in the UK. I managed to pick this up for about £120, running, as I say, Android 1.6, 128 meg of RAM, 2 gig of ROM. Now it's sold as having a 600 megahertz processor. However, a bit more digging into that, in actual fact, it's not one 600 megahertz processor. There are two 300 megahertz processors in there. Not really the same thing. But there we go, it is sold as 600 megahertz. It is a 7-inch display, which is 800 by 480 pixels. Sort of the same resolution that we're seeing many other Android mobile phones and that sort of thing come out with now. There is a built-in accelerometer, and it has Wi-Fi supporting 802.11b and G, and up to 32 gig SDHC memory cards. That's full size, not micro. Full size SDHC memory cards. And the browser on there is apparently Google Chrome. Going to come to that in a moment, but let's have a look at the controls. Obviously the power button, which I was pressed there, is actually starting up. The menu button, home, an up and down or plus and minus button, and an action or back button in the middle there. 3 LED indicators, one indicating Wi-Fi, one the battery, and one, I guess, just kind of telling us that it's switched on. On the bottom, headphone connector, little microphone hole there, little socket there that we plug in the charger. The dock connector, 30-pin connector there for synchronizing and connecting up to your PC for transferring files and that sort of stuff. And then we've always seen the actual connector there, or the socket there, for up to 32 gig SDHC memory cards, full size memory cards. That's quite cool, quite useful. On the back, really all there is to see is a loudspeaker and a little reset hole. That's a soft reset, not a hard reset. So we have started up, and it's saying no service. Well, there isn't a space for a SIM card anyway, so there wouldn't be. But the screen is locked, as it says here, and we press the menu button to unlock. Now the screen isn't terrible. It's a fairly rudimentary LCD. It's not AMO LED or anything special like that. But as you can see here, we have quite a bit of stuff already installed. We have the browser, iReader, which is like books, music, video, photos and so on, Wi-Fi settings, app manager, and some Skype and a few games. Goes for Fring there as well, which is pretty cool. Pushed here at the side, and obviously it is touchscreen. It is a resistive rather than capacitive touchscreen, probably no surprise though. It's extremely reflective, the screen though, and well, you have to hold it just right. Even, I know, I appreciate I'm in a brightly lit room for doing the video, but you have to kind of hold the screen at just the right angle to be able to see it even in here. So what it would be like in direct sunlight, well, I don't think it would be great. You probably want to be using this indoors, or certainly in the shade rather than in direct sunlight. We have things like documents to go, obviously a few other things here that we've already sort of seen. It doesn't really scroll that well, it's kind of jumpy. It says it's a 600 MHz processor, as I've already mentioned. It's two 300s. That's probably why. Got a YouTube client there and Wi-Fi settings. Let's see if we can set up a Wi-Fi connection. Now, I've already read about these devices, and I'm told that basically they don't pick up a Wi-Fi signal very well, so we'll give it a shot. We'll put in the key there. You can see the QWERTY has come up, so see if it will rotate. Nope. Okay, so the accelerometer is perhaps not active, so let's put in the key. Okay, it's trying to connect right now. Hopefully it will. Come on, connect. Connect. It says the signal strength is fair. I'm only about 15 feet from the wireless router, so I would hope it would connect, in fact. But I have read that the Wi-Fi on these things is pretty poor, so maybe it's not going to work. Let's see what happens if I go a bit nearer. Okay, we have eventually connected, mainly because I've moved the wireless router nearer to where I'm recording, and there we go, it's gone off again. It's actually saying that we've got some signal here on the right hand side, but it's not actually working. As I say, I am about 15 feet from my wireless router. It's about as near as I can actually make it, and it isn't working, so it's a bit of a shame. But there we go, we'll come back out of there for now. Have a look at some of the other things that we've got on here. In fact, unfortunately, most of them are actually going to require an internet connection, which is a bit of a pity. But we have Google Maps that's on there, an APK manager and browser, alarm clock, calendar, an iReader. Say the Wi-Fi is obviously very poor. I can't really get an awful lot nearer to my Wi-Fi point, and it's still not working. So it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, YouTube and Skype and settings menu. The screen itself, as I say, is resistive. It's kind of spongy. There is obviously a layer over the top to make the resistive screen work, and it isn't very good, quite honestly. You can do a touch panel calibration. Again, I've been advised not to do that because they don't work very well afterwards, so we'll kind of take that advice at the moment. So obviously can't show you too much without a Wi-Fi connection. Suffice to say that if I've got to be standing right on top of my Wi-Fi point in order to make it work, that isn't going to be fantastic. So this is the Eken M001. Have a full review for you over the next couple of weeks. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/TracyandMatt. And I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on tracyandmatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.
Bitdefender is dedicated to protecting people's digital lives, so working with unboxes.com to help preview and review the latest technology is a perfect fit.